Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today I am going to be doing my reaction to the Death Battle Cell versus Mega Sonic. Um, Quite surprising that it took him this long to do Cell. This is also supposed to be the last animation that Devil Artemis does for Death Battle, and great animator, by the way. He did some stuff for Rewind Rumble a long time ago. So I think I've seen all of his Death Battle animations that he's done, and all of them have been bangers. So I expect nothing less to this because this is obviously one of I think this is like his favorite character because he does this a lot of he features Cell a lot on his YouTube channel. So I'm glad that they're gonna let him do this. I was surprised by the matchup. I thought one of the more popular matchups for Cell at least was Doomsday. There's a couple others too, but I was kind of surprised that they went with Mega Sonic. So it'll be really interesting to see that how they're gonna go with this one. There are some arguments for Mega Sonic, with some of his overpowered feats, with some of the stuff that you can scale through some of the Sonic stuff like the Solus of 2006 game. But I think with that, it's a lot. I think that scan is a little highballed, because it is 1/3 of the universe. When you divide the three, or when you subtract the three hedgehogs from 1/3, they're not as strong as some of the people have scaled them. One of the things that for this death battle that I'm not sure if they're going to clarify is if Cell Max is going to be allowed in this, because I didn't really go over this because I know I've gone over this a couple times with some other researchers about Cell, and where do we put Cell at? Obviously, his biggest thing that we see in the actual anime is that Cell, when he goes Super Cell Perfect, after he comes back, after his near death experience when he tried to blow himself up, was that Cell, what's it called? Cell, was a solar who could blow up the whole solar system. So there's that. If we're scaling Cell at high balls, I mean, he could be even stronger than that. But if they give him Cell Max as well, because we know Death Battle is notorious for, a lot of their older videos, for, combining all their continuities, for characters. This character is in a comic book, and this character is in a comic book, and even though this person isn't the same as this person because it's from a different universe, because they have the same name, it is somehow counts. This is what Death Battle has done for a long time. So I'm hoping we're not going to get into that territory, but if they're giving him Cell Max, if Cell Max is involved in this as well, because they are different characters, so it shouldn't be. But if they are including Cell Max as well into this, that could really swayed a much easier victory for Cell here. Um, Now, do I think they should do that? Absolutely not. I don't like them doing that at all. I didn't like them doing that in a lot of their death battles that they used to do it for. Um, but hopefully that's not the case. But if it is the case, then could turn the tide here for more of a Cell victory. Right now, it's much closer than a lot of people think. Between Cell and the metal Sonic Hedgehog character over here, but yeah, we will see what they do here. I'm gonna put this up, and we'll put this out here, and I will do my reaction. Hopefully, we get a good connection. Yeah, here we go.
Cell versus Metal Sonic. Which copycat android is truly the superior model? He's wears an iPhone stick.
Copycat androids, and yes, Cell obviously can copy a lot of the hero stuff. And one of the factors too for this battle, I should mention, because Cell, when he tried to blow himself up, he was able, even though he did not know instant transmission, because the cells that were like, copying Goku and all the heroes and the villains, DNA, Goku didn't know instant transmission yet because all of the stuff that they were detecting were battles on Earth. So because they were battles on Earth that they were detecting and getting DNA from, Goku hadn't learned instant transmission yet, so they had not gotten it. So they hadn't collected the data for that. Which is also why, they didn't know about Goku's battle with Frieza, on Namek. They didn't know what a Super Saiyan was. Now, even though I know this has been argued for a long time, and I know there's been a lot of retcons and stuff like that have come over in recent years, but one of the things for a long time that Dragon Ball Z fans have argued is whether or not Cell can actually go Super Saiyan, which I have always said that he can. But a lot of people have argued this for years on whether Cell can go Super Saiyan or not. I don't know why it's like unless the anime is like totally misrepresenting what the manga did. He went Super Saiyan. They did the yellow power up thing. He did there was one time where he imitated what Future Trunks did with the grade 3 thing with the big muscles and stuff like that, where he lost all the speed and stuff like that. He imitated it exactly the same way. So, to me, I always viewed Cell as being able to go Super Saiyan. Because, that's what we see in the anime. But a lot of people don't think, there is people in the fandom that say, oh, Cell didn't go Super Saiyan. That's just a power-up. And I'm like, well, if it's a power-up, then, it's kind of depicted wrong, because it's, literally showing yellow aura freaking, popping up and shit like that, which that only is supposed to be Super Saiyan. So, that was always my interpretation of Cell. And if we go by that logic, then, obviously there should be power-ups for that. Now, will that change any factors? Probably not. But I'm just saying that that's something that I think should be noted. But yeah, here we go.
And it's our job to analyze their
Okay.
weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Okay, Wiz.
There's a monster stalking Gingertown.
Gingertown.
Everyone who's seen it has lived to tell the tale.
So, I always cringed at this right here. The football players or whatever. No, they were called football players, but they're not. Like, they're not soccer players. I think they were supposed to be rugby players. But because these right here, this is not what a football like uniform looks like. Like, you got the number, but these little fucking spike pads or whatever that they have on, like that is not. Well, first of all, the shoulder pads on a football jersey, they're inside the jersey, so you would never see them like this. But no, I just never understood this. I don't know if this was like a dub mistake or what the fuck, but I remember this and I was like, that's not what a football player looks like. I remember watching this guy I never understood like what this was supposed to be, because I actually was a football fan when I was a kid. I've been watching football since I was 3. I've been a diehard Green Bay Packers fan that long. So like I never understood the depiction of this, if this was actually intended to be American football players or not. I always assumed this was supposed to be rugby or something like that, but even then, that doesn't even look like a rugby uniform. Because I don't think rugby players have fucking shoulder pads or spike fucking things coming out of the fucking jersey. Like, I didn't fucking get this at all, but I always cringe at this. Okay, wait, what the fuck? Why are we not getting
Gingertown. No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale.
And they also got exhorted by Cell.
Was their clothes. Thing,
quote unquote.
Leaving only a shadow behind. Some kind of creature driven only by the need to feed.
The need to feed.
The ultimate life form. The Namekian Piccolo with.
So, the ultimate life form thing, like, is kind of interesting because I always assumed they added that in later, because if I'm not mistaken, in the original Z-dub, they never called him that. I know in Kai they called him that, but I thought that was something they added later. But it turns out they did call him that, apparently. No, because in the Z-dub they never called him that. They just called him the perfect. They called him the perfect android. But I do think it's kind of funny and ironic because Sonic kind of copied the Super Saiyan form. Like, Super Sonic is basically just a rip-off of Super Saiyan. So I kind of thought it was kind of funny that they had Cell be called the ultimate life form. It's kind of a spin-off of on fucking Shadow over here. Anyways, let's get back to it.
To investigate this manslayer and discover that it was intelligent. Its tail could unravel to absorb its hapless victims and add their energy to its wretched gestalt. But the nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this freak
Kamehameha.
of nature knew the Kamehameha.
Yes, he did.
The history of this creature's origin was decades in the making. Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced paramilitary organization in history.
Okay. This death battle will prioritize Dragon Ball's primary canon. Primary canon. The manga and the anime. Okay, well, then you should be, well, I mean, that's kind of obvious. I mean, what else did we think we were going to be prioritizing? Were we going to prioritize, what, movies or something? Like, what the fuck were they thinking here? I mean, that should be a given. Red Ribbon Army.
Until they got rocked by this little kung fu
Mercenary Tao.
Son Goku. Goku. But
Yep.
Red Ribbon's dream of revenge lived on within their head scientist, Dr. Gero.
So fun fact about this, and I wonder if they're going to mention it here. They probably won't because it doesn't really have anything to do with anything for this particular death battle. But the thing that I always thought was very interesting about this is, did you guys know, if you ever watched the Dragon Ball anime, do you guys know that Dr. Gero is never once mentioned in Dragon Ball? Like, if you watch the Dragon Ball anime and you watch the Red Ribbon Army arc, he's never like referenced at all in it. However, when they do Dragon Ball Z, they do a callback to it. You like, oh, like, you know, Goku defeated the Red Ribbon Army, and they make it sound like Dr. Gero was a pivotal part in the Red Ribbon Army arc, but he really wasn't because he was never actually mentioned in the show. They kind of retconned that afterwards in Z, and said that, oh yeah, he was there, and Goku defeated. Well, Goku did defeat the Red Ribbon Army. It's just that we never saw him, you know, take out Dr. Gero's like laboratory or whatever, you know, because they never show it because it was never actually shown in Dragon Ball. It was something that they later added to it. So yeah. Okay, hold on.
Hiding away in his spooky cave laboratory, Gero would go to work studying the Z fighters from afar, learning everything there was to know about them,
and building a series of androids that would destroy his spiky head
Android
nemesis
8.
once and for all.
They actually showed Android 8.
infinite energy androids.
You know what's the interesting trend when it comes to Dr. Gero's androids? Is outside of Android 19. Well, I mean, I guess if we don't count the canon or the non-canon ones too, because obviously all those other ones were. Outside of Android 19, all of them ended up turning good. You know, and Cell, of course. But I mean, Dr. Gero, man, you got some bad luck. You got some bad luck at creating androids. You created Android 8. He ends up becoming friends with Goku. Yeah, created Android 16. He becomes friends with Gohan. You created fucking... well, you didn't create them. You kidnapped them and freaking made them do what you wanted as cyborgs, you know, that we call androids. 17 and 18. You reprogrammed them, and they ended up, you know, betraying you. 18 became good. 17 became good later on in Super. And 17 also killed you. So, you know. 19 was the only one, I guess, that actually followed your orders. All right. Okay, this is important here. While specifically significantly similar, Cell Max from Dragon Ball Super Superheroes is a separate character from Perfect Cell. Okay, so they are not going to use Cell Max in this. They are not going to include Cell Max and composite him with Cell. That's actually good to know because that will make this fight now more interesting, because I thought, knowing Death Battle, that, you know, the way they used to do a lot of their battles, that they would combine them. Now, if they had combined it, which again, I don't agree with it, if they would have done that, if they would have done it, I think it would have been a much easier win for Cell. Now it's going to be more challenging for Cell to win this. Though I do think there's still a chance for Cell to win this. But that does narrow the gap down. Anyways, let's get it going. Okay.
Androids.
However, none of Gero's
Yeah, these are the non-canon Android 15, 13, 13, 14, and 15. Yeah.
He had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Gero's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell.
Yep.
Get it? This android
Yeah,
has the genetic
I get it.
version of all
Boom.
the crazy
Or
warriors
I
that
get it,
control
Wiz.
Earth evolved, would become
7 feet tall. You know, I actually didn't realize he was that tall. I didn't realize he was actually 7 feet tall, but it actually makes sense. DNA, Earthlings, Saiyans, Namekians, Frieza clan. Created to avenge the Red Ribbon Army. Was he really created to avenge the Red Ribbon Army, though? That's kind of a little misleading there. Because I thought the other androids were created to avenge the Red Ribbon Army. I thought Cell was kind of more of a last-ditch effort because of all the other androids failing. The one interesting thing, too, Dr. Gero really didn't think things through on this. Like, because Cell wasn't supposed to, like, come out until years later. Like, in all seriousness, Cell wasn't supposed to, like hatch until probably, like, around when Boo was, like, coming. Like, no bullshit, because, like, he wasn't even fully developed yet. Like, I'm talking about the one that they destroyed, because the Cell from the current present day timeline, that Cell was still not fully developed. The Cell that we see in the present day timeline, that is actually another future timeline Cell. Like, so, like Dr. Gero, man, he didn't really think through, man. Like, because Android 18 and 17, they would have been around for, like, they'd be around for, like, several years. Like, I don't know, man. Like, Dr. Gero, for someone who was pretty intelligent, was kind of dumb in his logic. Extremely annoying to draw. Likes tournaments. He traps in Kermit the Frog. I know they put that in as a joke, but that's still fucking funny. Because, you know, it's this double Artemis's, like, show has, like, Kermit the Frog in it. That's pretty funny. He doesn't actually like Kermit the Frog. That's, you know, that's, like, a non-canon thing, but I think it's still funny.
Information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and, when fully evolved, would become unstoppable.
And with their DNA, Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common among all of them is the power to manipulate Ki, or the energy that
Yes.
exists in all living things, and weaponize it to fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields.
From the humans, Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite. Oh, weird, I'm not seeing Jiaozu on this list. Sorry, bud.
Is Jiaozu human?
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Cell can fire
I think
the Death
so.
Beam, as well as breathe in and travel
I think
through
so.
space with the alien genes of Frieza and his father.
And because he's got Piccolo's DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body at the cost of some keys.
Cell has survived having half his body vaporized multiple times, and cannot
Yep.
be destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is.
All right, here we go. This is going to be an interesting thing that they're going to note here. There's a small cluster of cells in my head makes up my core. If the clusters isn't destroyed, my body can go on and regenerate even if only microscopic pieces remain. Which is also kind of interesting because, again, you know, his head is blown up. Yeah. Kind of don't come for that. His regeneration is like Piccolo's.
Half his body vaporized multiple times.
His regeneration is like Piccolo's. It's not like Majin Buu's.
Eradicated.
You know.
Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always return. even stronger than before because of the Saiyan DNA he got from Goku
Yep.
and Vegeta. Definitely the cream of the genetic crop.
Sure, he can
No,
perfectly replicate
you're not allowed to do
the
that after you had
Galaxy
Macho
Spirit
Man
Bomb
lose to
and,
frickin'
of course,
Kool-Aid
Kamehameha,
Man.
as well as
Get out of
teleport
here.
by locking onto a living being's key signature.
But the best part of being a Saiyan is how much crazy stronger they get every time they almost die.
They can even evolve to become orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he's effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shown-in motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would make him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time. Not our Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. Very complicated. There's like 5 timelines.
As Cell defeated and absorbed the androids, he evolved, not only getting stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks and Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire
Our solar system, yep.
Although the vast majority of our solar system's
Said it.
gas is located in the sun, this still means that Cell's Keywave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
Whiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks, and even
Okay. Okay. I am so glad that they actually mentioned this, because for years I argued with people that, oh, well, this doesn't matter, this yada yada yada. So, okay, Death Battle gets they get a plus on that one, because that's accurate. I've argued I have argued with people since as long as I've been on YouTube, probably, about the solar system thing. It's like, oh, it's just an exaggeration, and yet we fucking have these guidebooks and everyone's like, oh, that's just an exaggeration. Like, no, dude, it's not. Never was. It was not in 2014, and it's still not in 2026. It's valid. Okay? I don't know why I keep losing the audio when I pause.
Just exaggerating.
not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks and even demonstrated outright in the video games.
Cell's even
Yes.
stronger in the anime adaptation, considering the time Frieza blew up Namek. In the anime, the explosion.
Okay. Frieza also survived the same blast other Toei characters like Garlic Jr. can create massive black holes and nearly destroyed a pocket dimension consistent to stars, making Frieza's feat consistent. Okay, so they're using non-canon stuff then, too. Well, yeah, they did say they were using anime, too, so, yes. Would count.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was
yeah.
at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy.
Okay.
I thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also incredibly
He was.
fast, capable of blitzing even the strongest Z fighters.
Let's ride the Final
Goku
Flash.
flew from Grand Highest Planet to heaven, all the way to hell,
Briefly
hundreds of
considered the
billions of
almighty-
light years in half a minute.
Contending with the almighty Hercules, say, like, really? Come on, that's gotta be a joke.
Cell Juniors out of your butt. What? Never heard of that key technique? Call it the Kegel.
Perfect Cell was entirely without peer and no longer wedded.
Heaven is described as the size of the universe in the Daishonen, and by creating in the anime, Goku did a shortly after dying, when he was still largely inferior to Cell.
To Jiro's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The
Yes.
Cell game! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Jr.
Their last hope was Goku's own son, Gohan.
After Cell
Yes.
arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, push the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him. Wow, Cell, you really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell was a victim of his own success. The same Saiyan genes that made him all-powerful also sowed the seeds of his defeat.
He got so mad he even blew himself up. Maybe he does have some Chaozu in him after all.
Even that wasn't enough to totally put him down, and he came back with the same Super Saiyan power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
Super perfect Cell. Now with more lightning in a battle for the
And he got
ages,
instant
Cell put
transmission from the
entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan and went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite figure out their knack for going beyond.
What can be destroyed can always be rebuilt. All it takes to recreate the most.
They showed Cell Max, even though they just said earlier that they were not using it.
Single cell.
Even though they were not said they were not using
Hey,
it.
real quick, did you know Death Metal launched our own tabletop gaming channel? It's
No, I don't care.
He dies.
No, we don't care. Get to the fucking goddamn Metal Sonic shit.
A good doctor threw it
Get to the fucking Metal Sonic shit. Let's go.
that same world and those same critters were.
We gotta go back to the beginning.
An oval, Dr. Ivo.
Oh my god. Alright, here we go.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters are threatened by the evil and oval Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
And time and
I
again,
will
that
say,
same world-
I think the rundown of Cell was pretty solid. Like they covered a lot of good points, and they said Cell's solar system buster, so that gives them points right there, because like I've been fucking saying for years that he's a solar system buster, and so like actually I would say he's more than a solar system buster, but there were people back in the day that used to say he wasn't even a solar system buster. So yeah.
And those same critters were saved by Sonic the Hedgehog. No matter how many robotic
Death
gadgets
Battle will
the
be
company
providing
can
Sonic
put
the
in first
Hedgehog's
party
primary
businesses,
canon in the
its
video
genes were
games
always
and
six inches to the glowing
IDW
from
comics.
getting cracked and scrambled.
But it wouldn't be over easy for Eggman.
So that's not the what the fuck's it called, the Archie shit?
Well, 0 points on creativity for that name.
They count Archie like that. We're
Metal as
fucked.
hell.
They say
We're
innovation
fucked
is
if
the
they're
essence
counting
of
Archie
battery,
shit.
So Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can zoom around at
I think that's the new
maximum
comics.
speed.
There's like new comic books that they're using now that aren't the Archie like continuity. But
Metal can use all
they use
Sonic's
Archie, like,
power-ups
we're
and even
fucked.
replicate his
Like-
classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's got moves of his own.
He can attack with energy blast, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy,
They have used Archie Sonic before,
overdrive,
like
while
continuity.
tripling his
So
acceleration
that was what I was
and
wondering, like
anything
they
in
were
his
gonna
path.
use that.
At the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized red ass handed to you by Charmy B, you know
Who?
something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Never once
I don't know.
after defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew.
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
Especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence
Of course he
and
did.
took over his empire. And we mean literally copy. If Metal started as Sonic's copycat, why not hunt all of his furry friends down and copy them too?
Neo Metal Sonic is equipped with scanners in his optic receptors that can copy a person's biodata, giving him the ability to recreate all of their abilities in seconds.
Like
Let's go.
the Sonic Boom, Knuckles' hammer punch, Tails' magical swiveling asshole, and Big's ability to suck at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning their moves, he can replicate more as
Tales speculate in the IDW comics that Metal could have copied Blaze. Soul Emerald manipulation has Comet also figured the Metal can copy Metal traits at once. Okay. Well, that's one of the things that's like, well, his copy is more quicker than Cell's.
Tails is magical swiveling asshole and big
I-
suck at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning their moves. He can replicate more esoteric powers like
I don't know, man.
telekinesis, manufacture Rouge's mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that biological data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably helps that he can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only chaos he's encountered.
By scanning the
God of
ultimate
destruction,
form
you
of
say.
Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes, the emeralds.
Why is he
contain
showing
an infinite
Obama?
wellspring of mystical power and life energy. With them, Metal can perform Shadow's chaos control.
Is he showing President
Teleport
Obama? I didn't get
into
that.
space,
I don't get the
speed,
point of
and
that.
stop time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master Emerald, he can transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Completely invulnerable and completely golden, Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds.
Okay.
And has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are inconceivably
Okay.
powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's.
Okay, that's impressive, but that's not impressive to sell. So I don't. Yeah, that's impressive, but I mean that's not like that's not something I would be worried about if I was like, you know, trying to figure out if he can beat Cell. Sonic Speed summarizing follows the Sonic characters, lore guidelines, and shows Metal can achieve a more stable super from with the Chaos Emeralds in addition to using the Master Emeralds in the IDW comics. And again, the audio just gave out on me again. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Speeds and has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are inconceivably powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
On their own, they can even create and destroy whole universes.
Other super characters like Sonic have battled and defeated beings like the Time Eater, who could destroy multiple dimensions and timelines in seconds. At their peak,
Okay,
these
that
supercharged
might be
even
concerning.
Solaris, who nearly
Yeah, we
consumed
would.
Sonic's entire multiverse.
So,
Okay, yep. This. I mean, I brought this up earlier. The Solus thing. Again, I've argued this for so long. It's becoming fucking a death wrath at this point. 1/3 of the universe, 3 different hedgehogs separated. Not as strong if you separate them. But I have a feeling that this is going to be impacted in the fight.
Hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly
Solaris,
consumed
yeah.
Sonic's entire multiverse.
so Super Neo Metal
Metal Sonic should be outclassed to the younger classic Supersonics who also fought the Time Eating. The Time Eating thing is interesting. That could be a problem. Is capable of matching the modern Supersonic, Shadows, and Silver after copying the bio. Super Neo, Metal Sonic, and modern Supersonic have also fought evenly in Super Speed simulations.
Consumed Sonic's entire multiverse.
So Super Neo Metal Sonic should be just as powerful as any of them. Though he's
Yeah,
gotta be
that's-
quick.
that might
because
be a
all
problem.
Power only lasts a short time.
The road to total
Okay,
domination was
okay.
nearly at an end.
Okay,
After
that
they
might-
Sonic and
that might
friends
help
copying their
if it's a
abilities,
short
Metal
time.
eventually combined their biodata with the mighty
Will Cell have
Eggman
enough
and became
time? That's the
Metal
question.
Overlord.
Complete with missiles, giant crystal projectiles, and the
Will Cell have
great
enough
three
time?
supersonic heroes all by himself?
That's the
Overlord
question.
is all-time final boss material.
And he knew it. His
To beat
ego
him
might
in.
as well have had its own health bar. Metal's drive to
Keep
surpass
up with Sonic's Hedgehog, Little Planets on Earth in Seconds. Eggman, Battle, defeated Sonic, Knuckles, Shadow, and Silver. Okay, that's a lot.
may have stolen their abilities, but
Eggman stated that Chaos Emerald roughly matches Metal's Overlord in power, making him compatible to feats or machine powers by the Emeralds or the other equivalents.
Sonic Heroes successful.
Okay. Alright, it's 13.
How cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things. After getting trashed again, Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from his code.
Metal returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer, always proving invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation, now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going on behind those glowing red eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Chad. The voice.
Yeah, no, man. Sorry, man. I can't with the ads, bro. Okay, wait a minute. All right, this one. Okay. Alrighty.
It, only on a much nicer shirt. So check that out while you're there. Anyway, let's get to the fight. I know you want to see it, and Boomstick wants to see one of these copycats get copycat. So,
Alright.
here we go. And remember, Death Battle the GG. We want to hear your pitches. Thanks.
Oh, whatever.
All right.
All right.
The buttons are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Pause. Okay. So far, from what I've seen, they did do a pretty good job with Cell. In a lot of the things, especially the solar system thing. In terms of Metal Sonic, the eating thing, through multiverse or through dimensions or whatever, that could be an issue for Cell. That could decide the battle. They're not using Cell Max, which, again, I agree they should not be using Cell Max, but obviously Death Battle in the earlier battles did do this type of shit. So I am actually surprised they're not doing it. Now that would probably have turned the battle better for Cell, but now it makes it a much more closer fight. They didn't really go over a lot of the things that I thought were going to be described for Metal Sonic in this death battle. That a lot of people have brought up. There were a lot of things that were brought up in this that were things that, there were a lot of things that were missing with Metal Sonic that a lot of people had brought up to me that I was kind of surprised that things weren't mentioned here. So they might be surprising us if they have Metal Sonic win here. Otherwise, the only things that I think are going to hurt Cell in this death battle, from what they mentioned, was obviously the Solaris feat, or the Solar's feat, for 2006. 2006 video game feat or whatever. And that eating through dimensions, I think, might hurt Cell in this battle. If Metal Sonic is to win this fight. But at the end of the day, got to go with my boy Cell here. Cell is my favorite villain, by the way, in DBZ. So Of course, I'm going to want to pick Cell to win here, but I don't know with Death Battle. I don't know. They might be hiding things here because they didn't really mention anything threatening for Cell compared to like I mean, they were mentioning stuff that were like, oh, we can destroy continents and stuff like. I'm like Cell can do that. Like that's fucking nothing. Like what the fuck are we talking? Oh, he's faster than light. I'm like the Cell's way faster than like what the fuck are we talking about? Like some of the things that were mentioned, some of the things that were not mentioned about Melisonic that had been brought up to me were not mentioned in this analysis. So that's where I'm kind of thinking that maybe Cell is gonna win here. You know, because they really there were some things that you know they could have brought up about Metal Sonic that they did bring up. You know what I mean? So it kind of they kind of really amped up Cell here compared to the Metal Sonic. The eating thing, the eating dimensions thing, you know, and that one feat where but there is a time limit for it. And once he runs out of time, that could be a factor too. Remember, Shadow lost to Vegito way back when because of that. Again, that was a long time ago, but you know it's still there. So I think Cell is gonna win. Even though I want Cell to win, obviously, but the way they analyze this, I think Cell is gonna win it. I think he's gonna win because they didn't really show things that people were bringing up to me about Metal Sonic in this, other than the two things that I mentioned already. But yeah, I got Cell. All right. Okay.
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation.
I heard the music for this before watching this. My boy Creep Switch sent me the link for the music. I love the music because I was wondering like what music you were possibly gonna do for this because they couldn't use the Bruce Falconer or the Falconer score Cell Perfect song, the original. You know, obviously the remixes aren't like official versions. You know, a lot of people love the remixes. I actually prefer the original. And I know the difference, by the way, because I'm an actual Falconer score fan of the music. But I was wondering what they were going to do for the score because I was like, they got to do something similar to that music because that's iconic. Okay, that to me, the Cell Perfect music is like top 3, you know, musics that they had in there. I good argument for it being one, because it was that damn good. Like, it was like one of, if not, it was the best villain music I have seen. Like I tell people think I'm crazy when I say this. I think the Cell Perfect music is like right up there with Darth Vader's music. Like I think it is like that fucking good of a theme music. I don't care what anyone fucking says. Like that is a hot take. That is a hot take right there. I think Cell Perfect's theme is right up there with Darth Vader's theme song. Okay. Hot take right there. I know I'm going to get some flack in the comments. I'm going to get some flack in the comment section for that, but I truly do believe that.
Bring me your strongest fighter or face
So I really like this. I like the score because it's very similar to it, but obviously different. You can definitely tell the inspiration for it. Special beam cannon. Okay.
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear?
He used Vegeta. He used Vegeta. Oh man, I fucking love that. I fucking love that. He used Vegeta's fucking. I gotta hear that again. That was fucking awesome. Okay, wait. Oh, fucking audio's off. Special beam cannon. Okay, come on, Cell. Let's go. Tell me, machine like yourself ever experience fear? He said it so casual. Okay. Alright, come on. Man, this is so good. I'm gonna say right now, if Cell loses, this is gonna be so disappointing. This is gonna be fucking dead to hell. He's like, fuck it. Like, they went all out on this, man. Fuck. If he loses.
You're dealing with the ultimate life form. I already possess its data. Observe chaos. Life form data successfully copied.
Okay. Shit. He's gonna regenerate.
It'll take more than that to kill me.
Yeah, the copy thing is also another thing we had to worry about too, because that's instant. His copy's instant.
Now I know everything about you, insect.
Just because you know it doesn't mean you're gonna win, though. Oh, he's gonna actually produce kids! Oh, okay, well, shit. I forgot he could do that, but no, not that I forgot that he, he could do that in the death battle.
Don't you dare.
Is that it? He's still alive! Holy shit! He's still fucking alive! I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead on that one. Holy shit. Oh, they're doing the Kamehameha again. Oh, what the fuck?
The greatest warrior in the universe. If you were all of them,
Oh, fuck.
then so am I. I'll never lose to a machine.
You are a machine. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, he's fucked. They made it look like he was gonna win, though. They did. That was clever. Oh, wait, he's still alive? Nope.
I'll crush you.
Oh, that's it. Oh, shit.
Now Metal's got all the powers of the Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters? Well, that world's fucked. Our bad.
Cell may have been one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z, but Eggman's greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories.
Okay.
Strength, speed, abilities, and adaptation.
First up,
Again, they didn't really explain as much as they should have for Metal Sonic if they were going to go in that direction, but I'm sure they're going to fucking just say that his copy technique was too much. Because his copy was instantaneous, and obviously he could take out dimensions. Obviously there's other arguments that you could use for Cell, but I just don't think they kind of presented this in the correct way if they were going to go that route. But I love the animation. They kind of did a little bait and switch because they made it seem like Cell was going to win there, but then they just did the copy thing. Once I saw the copy thing fucking being done on the Kamehameha, I was like, yeah, that's a wrap right there. Because he would have had to regenerate, which would have taken longer for him to have done that. Okay, fuck.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. Strength, speed, abilities, and adaptation.
first up, who was the strongest? Well, it's no surprise that any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he could destroy it in one go. Especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous and assuming he could just blow it up.
Even scaling Cell to Toei's Broly, that's the non-canon Broly, who could destroy the South Galaxy, would still be less powerful than the threatening the enemy, the entire Sonic multiverse.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he could destroy it in one go. Especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous and assuming he could just blow it up, final bosses like Time Eater and Solaris can destroy the wider...
Yeah, like I said, the Time Eater thing was going to be an issue.
Takes the edge in strength.
The Time Eater thing was going to be an issue.
I think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect Cell can move upwards of 100...
Cell and Metal scale the characters with potential speed feats like Metal Cooler and Black Doom. However, these would cancel each other out, giving equal leeway.
Times faster than that, and so 100 times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in
Cell definitely had the speed.
Metal was designed for.
Wasn't expected.
Especially when they said that like he was only faster than light, and I'm like, nah, bro. Like Cell definitely got this shit.
That, let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note, though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo
So
Metal
why
had
didn't you
time
give Cell the
limits,
win
Cell
then?
would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered
that
Cell's
would have been a
speed
problem.
advantage and left him open. And with Silver's psychokinesis, or the Emerald spatial distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been
Yeah,
beaten by
so what the
all
fuck?
a bunch of times.
What the fuck?
Keep in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
It's a draw.
Brings
Like
us
really?
to one thing they're both known for, their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily
Not really. Like he could, but it wouldn't help him. Like especially once he all right, hold on one minute. Especially when he goes to perfect, it wouldn't work. Because remember, Vegeta said you should have absorbed Saiyans over androids. So yeah, that's not necessarily true. Dezenshu claims a perfect cell gains 17-18 infinite energy after absorbing them. However, not only does Cell tire against Goku. The Chaos Emeralds also grant Metal infinite energy with the super transformations and the time limit. See, again, that was the thing I was saying. Like, if there was a time limit, then there might be a possibility if he hangs out until, the time runs out that he actually could tip the scale. So I don't know that claim. I don't really necessarily buy that one. I think if they would have gone more with the argument about copying, I think if they would have done the copying thing, because I think, because Metal Sonic can copy things instantly, where Cell kind of has to get it over time, and it takes a while for him to adapt to it. Like when he got the instant transmission after, he self-destructed and regenerated. So I don't really agree with that.
At the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took Metal by surprise, he can't absorb.
That's not really true, because wasn't Android like 17 like technically had a stronger power level than Cell, like until Cell absorbed people, like because Cell absorbed
Robots like Android
so
16.
Cell was only able to absorb Android 17
the thing when it
because they were primarily organic.
They're actually more like cyborgs
okay,
that are
so
all androids in the
when it comes to Cell, yeah, we know that, like, yeah, yeah, they're really Cyber 17, 18 also a cutoff here, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that does make sense. But like I said earlier, with when it comes to the Android specifically with 16, like 16, like I don't know if this is necessarily true, because like with 16 they can absorb like Cell wasn't trying to absorb 16 like he did with 17 and 18. He was trying to like take some of his energy like he did to the Earthlings in Gingertown. And also 17 was actually stronger than Cell when Cell first like showed up. It wasn't until he absorbed the Gingertown Earthlings that made him stronger than 17. So I don't know about that. That's kind of a little I don't know
Through only a few seconds of
about
direct
that.
eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z Warriors too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his own biology, like Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first.
Yeah, like I said, the copy thing was going to be a huge issue because he can instantaneously copy his abilities.
Cell's key techniques, believe it or not, copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce.
Furthermore, life energy restores Sonic chaos energy and also manipulates souls for the rest of his life, just like Ki.
There's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level. Just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do
While 17 and 18, 16 lack natural Ki, they can influence generation, metal sonic energies, forms of energy, reform, metal, and rebasing Ki.
Also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic.
I am surprised that they gave Cell a lot more credit here, because he definitely is faster than him, for sure. But, yeah, I mean, we were seeing people that were like, oh, this is going to be no contest, right? Which I didn't agree with that at all. I thought Cell did have a shot in this. And I thought it was going to be coming down to how they were going to do the copy abilities. And the time-eating thing. But, yeah.
Cell died.
Boo!
Wiz,
Bullshit.
You get it? CD? Wiz? Where you go? Come on back. Next time on Death Battle.
All right. Who's that? Oh, Bakugo. I don't know who that other person is.
To see more Death Battle.
I think
Thanks
that
for
person's
watching.
from. I don't know where that's from. I think it's maybe. Was it maybe Chainsaw Man? I don't know. I don't know if they have anything in common, so I don't know. But I'm just gonna say this right now. I mean, outside of Cell not winning this fight, everything was great. I think the shout out to Brandon. Freaking the music was fucking amazing. Just fucking very very close to Cell Perfect's theme. Obviously he had to make it different, which he did make it enough different, but got to a very similar vibe to the original Cell music from the Falconer score. The animation was a banger. It was Devil Artemis's last animation for Death Battle that we know of. Does some good content on his own YouTube channel. I know that. But yeah, this was awesome. Like the last three Death Battles that I have reacted to were bangers. Like I mean, fucking bang. Not just like other ones that they've done recently or something. Like these past three ones have been bangers. Like I still debate on whether the fucking goddamn Ichigo Yusuke versus Maka and Ruby, which one was the better animation, because they were both bangers. I mean, Ichigo and Yusuke had the kind of not so good ending, so that's kind of where I think Ruby versus Maka might be slightly better, but everything else about it was great. But yeah, I mean, this was a banger, man. Like, good work by Devil Artemis. Shout out to him. I know he used to work for Rewind Rumble at one point too, so I did talk to him a little bit. But yeah, I mean, just an amazing animation. Like just some bangers, man. Just some fucking bangers. Absolutely loved it. And outside of Cell not winning, which I think there was a good argument for Cell, but I mean, when they said the copy and they were really going into the copy technique, that was probably where it was like, oh, yep, that's probably it for Cell. And it was, unfortunately. But yeah, that's really all about it. I loved the fight. With the exception of Cell losing. I would have liked to have seen Cell win that, but obviously there was, Metal Sonic had some feats that were going to be hard to contend with for Cell, unfortunately. But anyways, make sure to comment, rate. If you like this video or my other videos, please subscribe, hit the notification bell for this content. Thank you. And that is it. I am the S Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, to follow me on the Twitch, the Instagram, and I do have a Discord link in the description where we discuss various topics, including this one here. And now I'm out. Peace.